A cup of fresh hot Java might seem like one obvious solution, but while it may serve to stimulate the taste buds, it really won't get you that far in terms of safety.
Put yourself just for a second in the shoes of these students. Imagínate que te acabas de mudar a un nuevo país, en una ciudad sin amigos, una escuela nueva, y todos hablan un idioma que no entiendes. How would you feel? When you walk into a classroom like this one with about 30 kids, odds are by year's end, 2 of these students will drop out.
This webcam will work a lot like the security cameras already in place in department stores. Although instead of spotting shoplifters, it will send the image out live online. So you can ask your friends the question, all right, now I want your honest opinion. Tell me the truth. What do you think about this outfit? Does it work? Is it me? Okay, you're absolutely right. I don't know what I was thinking. That shirt was way too crazy. But what about this? I mean, this is a look that I think I can really pull off, right? I guess maybe I ought to stick with the tried and true. I guess this is more my style.
Allison is a little girl who says she didn't know why she was feeling so down in the dumps. She says she's normally an outgoing, happy-go-lucky kid. But one day, her emotions got the best of her.
The only thing that I started noticing was I was really sad when I went to school, and I really wanted to come back home.
What was making Allison so sad? Puberty, something every preteen goes through. But Allison was only 5 years old and maturing much too quickly.
After we first noticed the personality changes, I kind of paid a little closer attention to her, and she started developing physical signs. Then I, said, oh, get her to a doctor, because it wasn't normal for a child her age.
That was 4 years ago. Today, 9-year-old Allison, who wanted us to protect her identity, keeps her hormones in check with Lupron shots, injections to delay the progression of puberty.
I get a shot every 3 weeks.
The medical term for Allison's disorder is idiopathic precocious puberty. Doctors don't know why it happens, but they do know it's not normal.
It's abnormal for a 5 or 6 year old patient to be developing large breasts and pubic hair.
Doctors say there are many factors that could contribute to the disorder, like diet, lack of exercise, even a child's racial background. But nothing is certain. Some doctors have treated girls as young as 3 years old with the disorder. If left untreated, young girls run the risk of serious side effects.
There'll be short stature. There will be all the psychological, emotional, and physical factors related to going through puberty at an abnormally early age.
It's kind of frightening. It really is.
Since Allison's mom caught the disorder in time, she doesn't have to worry about those side effects. But Allison still has to get injections.
He said he'd probably keep her on the shots till she was 10 and a half or 11, and then he'd just take her off and she'd go through normal puberty.
Now that Allison's physical health is back on track, Mary worries about her daughter's emotional health. In fact, Allison takes the antidepressant Prozac daily to combat her emotional roller coaster.
Other kids don't understand why they're, acting or behaving the way they do, or why they look the way they do. So it's real important that they, for their self-esteem.
We know the devastating aftermath of drinking and driving. Shattered glass, mangled metal, broken lives. But there's something else that doesn't mix with driving. The driver of this vehicle fell asleep behind the wheel, killing 8 people and seriously injuring 5 others. It happened back in March on I-15 near Jean.
It happened about 2 months ago.
A day Soquel Gutierrez will never forget, the time she fell asleep at the wheel.
I nodded off for a second, woke up and realized what I was doing, and ended up crashing into the car in front of me. And I tried to slam my brakes, and I was just too close to her and ended up hitting her.
Her case is just one example of countless incidents where sleepy drivers create chaos. How many times have you sat behind the wheel, too drowsy to drive?
A sleepy driver can be every bit as dangerous as somebody under the influence of alcohol or drugs.
Sergeant Ream says sleep-deprived drivers aren't as alert. Their judgment drops, reaction time slows. Consider these drivers the front line of the freeway. Truckers often get a bad rap when it comes to falling asleep at the wheel, but say they're not the ones you should worry about.
You'd see other people over the white line and over the yellow line.
It's pretty easy to tell if somebody's tired or out of it, needs to get some rest.
Truckers say they see it all.
Sleepy drivers will look just like somebody who's driving drunk.
A cup of fresh hot Java might seem like one obvious solution. But while it may serve to stimulate the taste buds, it really won't get you that far in terms of safety.
Caffeine is a stimulant. It does react in humans and allows them to wake up. But again, the reaction time is going to be short-lived.
Hi.
Hi.
Can I have your name, please? Hi, Lake. I'm Jen.
Blake Martin is a News 3 volunteer.
Your room is we're going to go ahead and have you fill out a bunch of paperwork.
She's not going to get any sleep this night.
You're going to be in room 3 tonight.
First, the easy part.
What I'm going to do is put the card down in front of you, and then I'm going to...
The lab technician gives Lake a puzzle to test her hand-eye coordination.
I understand you're being deprived of sleep, so there's a few things I want to show you. First of all, you're welcome to watch the television.
We keep Lake up for 24 hours, then put her behind the wheel.
Ugh.
We set up a camera to make sure she doesn't sneak a cat nap.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are, how I wonder what you are, oh twinkle, twinkle.
It is 2:45. Yeah, I just really want to go to sleep.
Little star.
At 7:30 a.m., it's almost over.
Hi, Lake. I'm Dr. Saskin. How are you? I understand they kept you up all night?
I'm sleepy.
Dr. Paul Saskin repeats the puzzle test.
Okay, and let's try that one.
I'm in.
And the sleep deprivation is causing her body to function out of sync with what it would normally be doing.
Now, the moment of truth. She gets into this driving simulator and takes off.
Good job. You separated the
I just killed somebody.
You lost 5 one time because you left your turn signal on for a long time. A car in front of you slammed on your brakes, and you slowed down, but I think it was your reaction time. You didn't slow down quite in time. You probably would have hit them. And then the second one was when the pedestrian crossed in front of you. You weren't expecting it, and you probably would have hit the pedestrian that was crossing the street in front of you.
I felt like I could drive, but it turns out my reaction time was slower.
The best advice is really just common sense. Take it from someone who's learned the hard way.
And I really don't want to put anybody else in that same danger again.
Gloria Grajeda says she wants to stay healthy so she can continue in her role as grandmother. And as a school district employee, she thought she had the right insurance to get any medical help she needed. But that wasn't the case.
They are not paying them on time like they're supposed to. They're taking 5-6 months, even more.
Months ago, Gloria experienced severe pain in her jaw that turned out to be TMJ. She went to see a specialist, but on the day of her visit, she was told her insurance was no good and that she'd have to pay the entire bill up front.
And I had to pay them because I was in pain and I had to see the doctor.
It turns out Gloria's insurance provider, ESEA Trust, had not paid for her prior visits to doctors, leaving her with outstanding debt.
We get bills, letters from doctor's offices saying that we need to tell our insurance to pay them, or we're going to be responsible for the amount, the full amount.
Gloria is not alone. There are thousands of school district employees, ranging from bus drivers to cafeteria workers, who were insured by the ESEA Trust Fund. Now, many of those union members have outstanding bills with doctors around the valley. The ESEA Health Trust used to be in this building, but it was shut down as a result of mismanagement. Now, support staff employees are insured by Sierra Health. Still, ESEA is responsible for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in unpaid debt. And those who used to be insured by the Health Trust continue to receive letters from collection agencies.
But most of these doctors know that they can't legally hold the participant responsible for that money.
Bob Mancuso is the president of the union that represents Clark County School District support staff. He says the only way ESEA can pay off all the outstanding bills is to get help from the state.
Yes, there is money from the state that has been earmarked for emergencies just like this, for medical insurance. And we hope, with the help of the school district applying for that money and the help of the legislatures that are friends of ESEA, that we could get this money down and pay this backlog down.
Whether the state will step in to pay those bills is still up in the air, leaving both patients and doctors holding the bag. ESEA has failed to pay thousands of bills to medical offices around the valley.
31 out of less than 30 days is $1,500.
Including the one managed by Diane Mahalco.
They're in excess of, right now, of over $41,000 they owe us. And that's for beginning of the year until now. I mean, they've made no attempt to call. They never sent us a letter stating they were leaving. So they vanished.
Mahalco says some doctors' offices are sending patients' bills to collection agencies, putting their credit records in jeopardy for something they really couldn't control.
We have at least 4 of them. Their balances are over $5,000. And a lot of the other offices in town have sent their patients to collections. And Dr. McAllister, we've talked about it, and we can't do that to our patients.
With the summer vacation season just weeks away, a lot of families are starting to plan their getaways, which means get ready for airfare wars. These people are all leaving Las Vegas, headed to Newark, New Jersey. They're all flying coach at the same time, on the same day, on the same plane. The difference is what they paid to get from point A to point B.
$279.
Nothing. My daughter works for the airline.
I paid $290.
Why all the different prices?
I believe it was $455 for the total.
I paid $319.50.
That's supposed to be a bargain, and it was $598.
Okay.
It's all about timing, when you book your flight. The more expensive tickets were booked only days before the trip. The cheaper ones were booked 7 to 30 days in advance. Bottom line, book ahead and shop around. Don't forget the discount airfare websites like cheaptickets.com, lowestfare.com, and previewtravel.com.
I shop online. I try to go from every website I can find.
Some airline websites let you sign up for weekly online airfare specials. You'll get an email when the price drops.
Checking around constantly, checking every possible source that you know. Going online, I have found, is the best source.
All of that takes time, so start early, a month or more before you plan to travel.
Plan ahead, I think, and try to get some kind of discount.
For hold short of runway 25 right at Alpha 3.
It's a class geared to help these tiny tots get more comfortable with water. By the looks of things, it appears to be working. Here at the Australian Swim School, these water babies learn to take a leap of faith. Just a few months ago, many of these tadpoles were afraid to even get near the water. But now,
he's just flourished. When we first started coming, he didn't even want to put his head in the water, and he's doing great.
She's become a lot more comfortable with the water. She doesn't mind splashing. She used to be really timid about the water getting in her face. She didn't like that very much. Now she splashes all around. I've seen a big difference even in the bathtub.
the swim school starts teaching babies as young as 3 months old. That's when 1-year-old Allison started taking classes.
The reason we brought her in the first place was so she could come around the pool, because, you know, we have a pool at home and stuff, so if she fell in the water, you know, you want to make sure they could at least get back to the side of the wall. And I think at this point, she's basically got to the point if she fell in, she could at least turn around and grab the wall.
And that's what instructor Debbie Meek says is the bottom line, teaching kids at a young age about safety and security around water.
It's a life skill. They can save their lives. And so that's the main goal at the beginning with the babies, is to be comfortable in the water and be able to, save their life if they fall in a pool.